What's up, everyone? Hey, give you a really exciting episode today. We're going to show you the plant update. I mean, holy sea biscuits, did you guys see that? I mean, this stuff's growing like crazy. I'm going to give you a real quick plant overview, and then we're going to go over the mixing of the nutrients, and we're going to show you what's going on. I'm Ben G. Thank you for showing up on living life on life's terms. Life is good, real good. All right, folks, let's head into the bat cave. Let's start out here with this butter crunch. Looking awesome. There's the other butter crunch. I even had to move it on over. Okay, guys, so I've gotten, that's the arugula. We're going to drop them today, guys, promise. There's my Brazilian moruga. These are all the plants that came up that did pretty good. I went ahead and transferred them all over to these. This one is the Bolivian rainbow. With that one little lettuce sitting over here. That's obviously. And then, let's turn this around. We got Bubblegum 7 Naga red. And then we got the Vidalia peach. Over here we got 2 white habaneros and 2 Scotch brains. I was hoping to get more than that. We got one guy that was thinking about coming through, so I kind of put him over there. And then we got the caramel boot jokia, ghost pepper. We got the orange tea scorpion. Here's my 3 varieties of lettuce. The new seedlings that I did. Just about everything came up. We'll be thinning those out, not this week, but coming soon. There's my bok choy, the Asian cabbage, and there's some more lettuce. All right. So real quickly before we move on to the mixing of the nutrients, this isn't how I'm going to have everything set up in here as far as having this ice chest and my pump up here. So what we're doing today, you see I've spray painted the lids, we popped them on there, we got the net cups. I'm going to show you how I mixed the nutrients and what I did use. We're going to pH balance it, and then we're going to go ahead and do our parts per million test as well. And then we're going to drop these lettuces, and I'm going to drop them in there and get everything arranged and turn on the pumps and show you what we got. All right, everyone, let's see. So this is what I'm going to use today. This is Dynagrow plant series. You can get that on Amazon, or you can get it in some of your local hydroponic stores. We'll be going over, not today, but in detail, further detail, but you can see NPK, the numbers there is 795. That stands for your nitrogen, your potassium, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Those are very low numbers, right? Well, we don't want to put these high numbers in here. We'll explain that later. But what's really neat about this is since we're growing hydroponically, all these trace elements are included in the bottle that you would naturally find in your soil. So those trace elements are really important for your plant. So since we're growing in water, we're having to simulate all these natural trace elements that would be in your thing, in your soil already. All right, and then I've also got a EC meter, so we're going to be able to tell the strength of our solution when we get it in water. We're going to add the nutrients first, then we're going to test and make sure we got it where we want it. And then there's our pH meter. We're going to make sure that our pH falls within a certain range. Then we're going to turn on our pumps. We're going to do this weekly, make sure that our nutrient levels are correct and that our pH level is correct. You want your pH, I'm going to shoot for my pH to be between 5.8 and 6.2. That's a little bit acidic. Normal water is 7, neutral. We want it a little acidic because on the graph it shows that when you're more acidic, not too acidic, but right in that range, that your plants are able to absorb these nutrients better, thus giving you overall better health quality. That's just a bottle of nutrient water that I have mixed up that I've been babying and pouring into it. So what you'll need for this, is a measuring cup, syringe, something like that. This Dynagrow, what I've been doing with it is that y'all follow the directions, guys, for hydroponics, and we're doing non-circulating. So we're going to be doing non-circulating. It's going to be 2 teaspoons for every gallon of water. I'll be right back. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this EC meter. What this is going to do, I've got some tap water here. When I say tap water, I mean right out of my sink. We're going to turn it on. We need to know a baseline number. Parts per million, okay? So we're going to stick it in my cup here. $3.74. Alright, we're going to turn that off. We need to know that. We need to know that so we can, when we test the solution, we're going to go in the tank and we're going to add nutrients, and we need to know, because I'm going to try to get this, my goal to be 1,600 parts per million for this Dynagrow. I'm going to put the suggested manufacturer's amount, a little bit less actually, and then we're going to test it, and when we get done, to make sure we have the concentration correct. That's what I mean by this number. We're going to subtract our number, 374, from the number that we get, and then we're going to add Dynagrow in slow amounts until we get it around 1,600 for lettuce. Be right back. All right, guys. All right, guys. As you can see, I've got some aeration going on here. I've got a pump. I'm trying not to drop my wire there. Back there in the back, it's got several ports, of which I've only, of course, they're accessing only 2 right now. This is our regular water from the sink. I wish I could have used tap water, okay, but I couldn't. So I've been having these aerating for 24 hours. Try to get the chlorination out, okay? Alright. So what I did go ahead and do off camera, this took 14 gallons per container. It calls for 2 teaspoons, which is 10 cc's of the Dynagrow per gallon. So I didn't go to 14. I put 120 cc's for 12 gallons in both ones before we check this parts per million number. So let's just go ahead and do each one individually. Just turn this joker on, get the lid off. Alright, so in this particular one, we're going to do it one at a time. It says 936. Alright. Let's see if the other one's any different. A little different. That's why I want to do each one different. Let's start with the one on the right. So we got about 10-15, okay? Alright. There's Dynagrow that I put in the thing. 10 cc's equals 2 teaspoons. We're going to add, we said it was 10-15. Add it in there. Pretty sure it's going to take about 2 of these, okay? So let's just go with 2. Well, what that'll do is we'll bring it right on up to the 14 gallons. I just wanted to start low. Alright. This will be the suggested manufacturers. We'll stir it with my wooden stick here. Give it a few minutes to aerate and mix up. We're just going to set that one down in there for a minute. Let's see what we got now. And she went off. Let's try it again. I'm seeing 1100. All right, so I turned the aeration up. That's what I'm getting with the numbers after I added Dynagrow slowly at 10 cc's increments. So I got basically about a 1650 at this point. Right now, since this is my first mixing with this one, I don't want to go much higher than that. I know we'll have you know, that 370 number. So that'd put us about 1300 ppm after you take out your, you know, your natural sediments that are in your water. And I will be back. I'm going to go ahead and get this one mixed as well, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, sorry I didn't have that mic on. We're going to do the pH in both of them. About 7.8, 7.06. And I like to whirl it around for a minute, let it settle out. Sorry, trying to get it where you guys can see it, but it's basically about the same. 7.1-ish. Alright, so we know both of our pHs are about 7.1-ish. I got this pH down. It's a mild acid. And that's going to bring my pH. My goal is to try to get it between 5.8 and 6.2. Now, I'm going to do a little bit. I've mixed them in 1 gallons before with the same system with the tap water and nutrients. Now, my tap water is normally 8.1, right? So it's very alkaline water to begin with. When you add your nutrients, guys, a lot of your pH is already going to be down where you need to have it after you add the nutrients. That's why you do your nutrients first, then check your pH, and then adjust. Now, with that being said as well, I already know that it takes about 1 of these to get my gallon straight. I got 14 gallons in here. So I'm gonna put about 4 in here. Just make sure these are teaspoons. 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to give it a quick stir, and we'll just check it and see where we're at here. If my calculations are right, and what I've based it with is that it should take freaking 14 teaspoons. But we did add a little bit more Donagro than normal to get our parts per million, because I wasn't doing that in the other. And the thing is, you know, you get to messing with this stuff, and you go too far down, you start adjusting, then you're playing yo-yo effect. A lot of people like to do it drop by drop, and the only reason that I went that heavy with it was just the simple fact that I've done it with my same tap water, same nutrient, and fooled with it several times off camera before. However, this is my first time doing it with the big totes. And I don't want to be here all day fooling with this. Once we get this thing set up, it should be a fix it and forget it situation. Well, not forget it, we'll check it every week, you know. But it's more of not having to water your plants every day. Alright, let's see if we made any movement. We'll do one at a time. And my finger's in the way, but 6.93, you see? It didn't move a whole lot. Alright, now I'm going to add a few more and we'll be right back. So real quick, it took 28 droppers to get me basically down to about 5.6 when it settles out. And I'm good with 5.6s. we're going to go with almost 5.6, okay? Now I'm not going to put you through me adding it to the other one, but now that I got a basic number, we did the first pHs on both of them. I know they're fairly similar. So I'm going to go about, the same number, and then I'll be right back. All right, guys, we're about 30 minutes post balancing the parts per million and the pH, which we're going to look at in a minute. Guys, I've done aquariums before in the past, and I wasn't thinking when I set up that pump with my air stones. So I had a little water spill, and I figured out what was going on. I thought it was from the stirring. So I had to bring the air pump outside and elevate it, and then just run my tubes through there. Anytime you've got a pump below the surface, it's just going to act like a siphon and then drain water back into the pump and could ruin your pump or potentially electrocute you or short out. So I wasn't thinking. But that's one good thing about this grow tent is that you've got, many ports to run things out. So now we're safe. So I'll be right back, and we're going to sit down just for a minute, and I'm going to show you my final numbers, and then we're going to get this lettuce, butter crunch, arugula in the ground. All right, I want you guys just to note, I've got a circular air stone in there. It's got suction cups. Hopefully it won't move. It's going through a small hole there. And of course, it's going through my side port. Look how clear the water is now that we got it pH balanced, got the nutrients in it. We've stirred it up real good. All right, so time for some action. Let's see what our parts per million are here. See if we worked it out pretty good. All right, looks like we got ballpark at about 1720 on that one. And 1780 on the other one. So almost 17 on both of them. And then you take away the 300 and something, so it's about 1400 ppm, subtracting what was in there before. All right, and then next, let's see how things came out with the pH. All right. Sorry, it's hard to get this one where you can see it. 5.86. Man, that's pretty freaking close. And let's try here. .71. So we're a little lower in this one. Like I said, I'd like to have between 5.8 and 6.2. I'm good with both those numbers. All right, I'm going to put these lids on, be right back. We're going to drop those lettuce. Not in the ground, but in the water. All right, so we got the lids on it. And guys, grounds are supposed to be level, especially in a garage, but you want to turn the pump on, put some empty net cups in there. All around the four corners. On both of them. You want to make sure that the water touches the bottom of the net cup, at least in the beginning. The way, until those roots start growing down in there and get the water. Now with deep water culture, since I'm doing this, you can refill and keep your roots, but when you're doing cracky, you won't be using the pump, and it's very important that you let the roots establish air roots. In this case, it won't be quite the case. Alright, so let's grab one of these beautiful little jokers out. Beauty of this, guys, is we're not going to have to, look at those white roots. We're not going to have to disturb the plant. We're just going to slip it right on in there. Try to be super careful. Alright. Amazing roots. Beautiful. Okay. And we're just going to stick them in there first, and then we'll kind of arrange the way we want it. That one just, sorry. Alright, then we're going to take these others out. This guy, See how he started to get root bound the way I had it? It's going to drop down in there and do its thing. This one's good. I'll stick him up here. I've got a little baby in there, the runt plant or whatever. That's how we're going to start looking. I'm going to turn them around where the leaves are all even. Now let's get over here and let's do the arugula. Nice root ball formed. Drop it. This one don't have as many roots, but it's going to get it. The main thing is to stay wet. This one's got a huge root ball trying to come around from the side. Stick him right there. Pull our extra net cup out. This one don't have so many. It's okay. This one too. Not that many root balls, or I would have shown you. So we're going to show from the aerial point of view here. I'm going to get that other little run over there. He's probably not going to catch up. But I want that way you guys can see when we do our update in the week how much we've grown. Alright, I'm going to be right back when we get that last one in there and I get everything situated, and we'll just take a final look and then we'll be back next week. Thanks guys, I'll be right back. Alright guys, this is the final little part of it. We've already taken a good look at the butter crunch, the arugula. Of course this light goes down lower. This is normally when they're asleep, so I had to disturb their night-day cycle, but it is what it is. Let's just take a real good look here. Some of our peppers. Some looking better than others. I'm holding out hope. And let's just take a look at our 3 different varieties of lettuce again really closely. We'll be thinning those out next week. Bok choy, is going to take over like crazy. I'll probably thin them down to 1 plant per pod. Alright guys, if you like what you see, please click the like button, please comment, please subscribe, please share with other people. And in case no one's told you today, let me get this straight. In case no one's told you this today, I love you. I love each and every one of you. Life is good, real good, and I'm Ben G. Thank you.